guys, so we're almost at 1,000 subscribers. Oh my gosh. Hi friends, welcome to episode 63 of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. My name is Kaliesha and you can find me anywhere online as Nadiratani. I am coming to you today from my home in Central Florida, and today is Friday, November 30th. Tomorrow is December 1st. Wow. That's all I have to say. Just wow. But thank you so much for coming to spend some time with me today. I really do appreciate you coming to hang out. And if you are a new viewer, welcome. I hope you enjoy yourself here. I hope you enjoy what I have to show you. And if you're a returning viewer and subscriber, thank you so much for your support of this podcast. I really do appreciate it. Yeah. Today, as you can see, am filming inside. It's been really cold by Florida standards outside, and as you can hear, I'm still sick. So I am filming inside in my bedroom again, sitting on the bed, so that will explain any camera shake. Every time I move, the camera kind of gets a little bobbly. And I also have my little dog Kiva on the bed, which you can see her little ear right there. Oh, somebody's at the door. The dogs are about to lose their minds. We are not even 5 minutes into this episode and there's already shenanigans and tomfoolery. UPS just made a delivery. Tootie and Kiva lost their minds barking. It wasn't even mail for me. Kiva's off the bed. We're dogless now. It's fine. I don't even remember what I was saying. So let's just get into the crafting. Oh yeah, I was saying that I'm recording inside because I'm still sick, and even though it's warmer outside, I didn't want to go out for real. Although I guess I probably should be filming outside and getting that fresh air. Like maybe that will help clear out my system. Is that how it works? I don't think that's how it works anyway. Whatever. So, focus, Kaliesha. We have one finished object. Is that true? That is true. We have one finished object. Let me show it to you. I'm super excited about them. I finished them a couple days ago. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that I posted about, it was a selfie I posted, and I was sitting on my bathroom floor with the shower running for the steam for, you know, my throat and everything. I had a cough. This is a whole lot of information that you guys probably don't even need to know. But because I was awake at like 1:30 in the morning, sitting in there breathing in the steamy air, I finished these socks. Ta-da! They are falling out of my hand. They are my, I was calling them my bamboo reading socks. These were the vanilla socks that I was working on while I was reading all the different books that I was reading. When I first started them, I was reading Harry Potter, and then I had a hold on the book Akata Warrior by Nnedi Okorafor. So I stopped reading Harry Potter to read Akata Warrior, which was awesome. And the ending of that one like really sets up for a third book. So I'm just like waiting with bated breath for the third book in the Akata series. But anyway, these are my reading socks. The last time you guys saw them, they were right here, like right on the other side of the heel. They are a plain vanilla sock, 64 stitches around, as is my usual. This is a German twisted, no. This is a German short row heel in garter, which I think is going to be pretty cool. But that's the only thing different that I did with these socks. Well, not entirely true. So this is the first one. I was knitting on this last month. I don't remember when, but I took them with me when Lamar and I went to I can't remember what it was, some arts festival that was downtown that I was super excited about. But I was knitting on them in the car as we were driving, and I wasn't really paying attention, and I did the decreases for the toe wrong. So I was like, oh well, I'm not ripping that toe out. So I just made notes about what I did so that I would do the same type of decreases on this one so that they match. Yeah, another fun thing about these socks, after I finished the first sock, I wound the remaining yarn into a cake so that it was just easier to carry around. So the second sock, the stripe sequence goes in the opposite direction, and the fact that they line up like this just made me so stupidly happy. I was like, ooh, look, isn't that cool? They're like puzzle pieces. But yeah, so they're all done. They're super tall. There's 80 rows from the cuff to the heel, and then 20 rows for the cuff. So 100 rows for the whole leg. I knit 72 rows for my foot, and of course then there's the rounded toe that I like. So those are done. Happy about it. This is how much yarn I have left from this cake. It was 100 grams. It's Superba Bamboo Superwash, and I have 40 grams left. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this because it is 50% wool, 25% polyamide, and 25% viscose. So with 40 grams, I can get like a shorty pair of socks. So maybe I'll do that. Who knows? Maybe it'll just chill out in my stash and get split into 2 minis to give away to somebody. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? But that's my only finished object. I'm going to take my progress keeper off of here. This is my little Max. Can you see him? Hi, Max. That's everything for works in progress. I keep doing that. That's everything for finished objects. So let's go on into works in progress. And I have one. I feel like, you know, actually, since pretty much all of my knitting time has been dedicated to this particular work in progress, I don't really feel bad that I don't have a lot to show. I specifically stopped to work on those socks because the patterns in this shawl that I'm about to show you are not really memorizable for me. So it was one of those projects where I had to always look at the pattern. And sometimes you just don't want to look at the pattern. Sometimes you just want to knit something. This is my Take a Chance on Me shawl by Jennifer, also known as Yarn Tripping on Instagram, and I think Ravelry as well. I will put a link to her Instagram and her Ravelry so that when this goes up, because my plan is to get this video out today, and I think she's releasing this either today or tomorrow so that it's like released in time for people to use their advent calendar, their mini skein advent calendars. So when you saw it last week, I was like, no, I was here. I was 1 row into this pattern section. So I've done 2 and a smidge. And as of this section, I have done each one of her stitch patterns. So all 6 of the stitch patterns are represented here. So the idea behind this shawl, it's kind of a choose your own adventure shawl where basically everybody's shawl is going to be different, which I think is really cool. You have 6 patterns, and it's made with the idea that you have 12 mini skeins. But of course you can do like more or less or whatever you want to do. You can do this all in one color if you wanted to. It's your world. Make it how you want to make it. But in the pattern, you have 12 mini skeins and you have 6 stitch patterns. You take a dice, or you take a die, and you roll it to see which order you're doing the stitch patterns in, and then you roll the dice to see which order your mini skeins go in. Now, I figure if you're doing this like with an actual advent calendar, all of your minis are mystery anyway, so you could do them in order of opening, like however they, you can do them in order, like in the day order. So your first mini skein, you open it, yay, we've got a beautiful color. Roll the dice to see which stitch pattern you get, 1 through 6. You knit that one. Second day, open your mini skein, oh, we got another beautiful color. Roll the dice to see what stitch pattern you got, knit that one. And I think that's gonna be like a really cool, it's gonna create a really cool shawl, and very unique to you, of course. And it's just such a really like fun idea. So there I am so far. These 3 that you're seeing right now are the new ones. This pattern that I'm working on right now is this pattern right here. So I did do some finagling in the order of my minis, like my remaining minis, so that whichever, well, actually pretty much all of the ones I've used so far have been solid colors. So the rest of my minis, I think I have quite a few like variegated patterny ones. Matter of fact, one second, I'll grab them. Okay, these are the last ones I have to work into the shawl. I didn't realize that I was that close to being done. See what happens when you don't count? So since I have pretty much all 3 of these are like variegated, this one is going to stripe. These 2, this one is a variegated, this one is kind of like a gradient, and then a solid. All of the stitch patterns for these are going to be the solid ones. So in my shawl, you'll be able to see what the stitch pattern looks like in a solid yarn and a variegated, which I think is really cool. So this pink one is going to work up like this. So I'll have a bunch of little stripes. So now that it was like quite hard to hold those up, I'm gonna put them away. I also have my little, like my leftovers. So the way that Jen writes the pattern, she has you like weighing the yarn a lot so that you can basically use up as much of the mini as possible. And these are the leftovers that I have of the different ones that I used. I don't have any leftovers of the burgundy because this yarn was the leftover yarn from when I knit Zakiya's Shine Bright socks, and I had just grabbed, you know, 2 burgundy skeins of Deborah Norville from Joann's, and because in my brain I was thinking it's commercial yarn, I don't really need to check the dye lots. That is a lie. Check the dye lots, because when I finished my socks, they were clearly 2 different shades of burgundy. So what I ended up doing was alternating the skeins like every 2 rows, and I had one ball that was smaller than the other, so I used out that one, alternating the skeins, and then finished the section with the rest of that burgundy. So I have a little bit of the burgundy left, which I'm gonna just keep for heels, toes, and cuffs. And can you see? I don't know. I feel like you can see in this top section, I don't know. Basically, there's a light line right here, and above here is where I was alternating between the darker and the lighter. And I feel like you can see it. You can definitely see it in real life, but I feel like you can see it on the camera, but I also kind of feel like that's only because I know where it is. But yeah, so that's why I don't have any remaining of the burgundy. But it's been pretty cool. So I finished, since I got through all of the stitch counts, I sent her my notes on the pattern, so she's like getting it all ready. I'm so excited for her and this release, because it's always fun when you've come up with an idea and you've put it together and you see somebody, you have someone else test it, and they're like making this thing that came out of your brain, and then you can share it with like everybody, and there's people who are excited for the pattern. It's just such a great feeling, and I'm so excited for her that she gets to experience that. So hopefully this will not be her last pattern. So if you don't follow her, definitely do, so that you can be kept up to date when that pattern drops, and you can make your own Take a Chance on Me wrap shawl. It's a shawl. Okay, Tootie, quiet, don't talk back. Okay, so that was everything for works in progress, and now I do have a maker plan. Even though I'm still going to be working on that shawl until it's done, the end is in sight. I have a maker plan, which I'm going to cast on tomorrow. Last week I showed you this yarn from Dynamics Yarns, which is a indie dye yarn company owned by Marce and Adachi. Marce is the director. Marce is the host of the Hey Brownberry podcast here on YouTube, and she also has the Hey Brownberry Instagram profile. She is like super nice. I love watching her videos and seeing her post online, because everything just feels so peaceful, you know, and she's very intentional about the things that she posts, which I really appreciate. But my maker plan for this is also a pattern by Marce. She recently released the Pebbles and Pathways sock, which I'll put up a picture. But she is hosting a knit along for that pattern, and it starts on December 1st. So I thought, of course, like I was thinking about doing this last week when I was talking about this yarn, but I did go ahead and buy the pattern. I am going to make Marce's socks out of Marce's yarn, and I just think that is perfect. So that's what this yarn is going to be. I'm a little bit like sad that it's not going to be like in my stash for a super long time. And as I'm looking at it, I'm like, I feel like I just lied to you guys. I don't think I want this to be socks. I think I want this to be like up by my face so that like everybody can see it when I wear it, right? Now I have more decisions to make. So these might end up being the Pebbles and Pathways socks, or this might end up being like some kind of shawl or top or something like that, because it's like gold and sparkly. Do my feet deserve gold and sparkly socks? Do my feet, which are just shoved in sneakers and crawling around on a portrait studio floor, deserve Rumpelstiltskin yarn? I don't know. Oh. We'll figure it out. So tomorrow I will be casting on the Pebbles and Pathways socks in a yarn. Oh my goodness. So that's the only thing that I have for maker plans. And we will mosey right along to Stashquisitions. I received some happy mail, and it made me oh so happy, because I think the day that I got this was like one of those stressful days at work where I just wanted to like throw everything on the floor and walk out, but I didn't. But I got some happy mail from Melinda, aka Yarnderwoman. She is such a sweetheart, and whenever I watch her podcast, she just has like this kind of infectious like happiness about her, where it's like it's like an appreciative happiness, you know, like where you're looking at your life, or there's things that you could be upset about, but you're actively choosing to like find the positive things. And I really appreciate that about her. And she posts about, you know, she posts thoughts like that on her Instagram, and just a lot of appreciation and gratefulness. And I think that's a wonderful energy that she's putting out into the world. So if by chance you have not watched her podcast, definitely take yourself over there and check her out. I will also link that down below and her Instagram so that you can go see what Miss Yarnderwoman is all about. But she sent me some yarn, of course, as you would if your name is Yarnderwoman. She sent me some yarn, she sent me some tea, and she sent me some minis. I'm going to show you the yarn and the tea because I have hid the minis from myself, and I will tell you about that in a moment. This is the yarn, and it's beautiful. What's this color called? The color is called Nori. It is dyed by hand yarns, and it is silk stocking, which is 50% superwash merino and 50% silk. 100 grams, 400 meters, 438 yards. This green is so pretty, and it's so soft. Like, what does one do with a wool silk yarn? What exactly does one do with yarn this pretty? But yeah, it's like, I think it is blowing out on the camera a little bit because I had to turn the exposure up because it's kind of dark in here. But it's a beautifully variegated green, and the silk content makes it so shiny. Like, yeah, you can see that luster there. That's just delightful. So she sent me this, and she sent me some Australian tea with smooth vanilla. That's actually what I've been drinking, and it's really good. I don't think I've ever had it's a black tea with vanilla. Actually, that's the entire ingredients. Australian black tea and natural vanilla flavor. So, it's really good. And she said that she picked this tea because of the sea creatures on it, because I talk about how I'm drawn to water and the ocean and things like that. So she saw this with all the sea creatures on it and thought of me, and I think that's so sweet. But this is my second cup of this tea since getting it like a couple days ago, and I really enjoy it. It's yummy, and I'm kind of happy that nobody else in this house likes tea for real, unless it's peppermint tea. Like, my husband, he just drinks peppermint tea and ginger tea. And my brother-in-law, same thing. So every other flavored tea or different type of tea that's in this house is mine. More tea for me. So these in here, you can kind of see that there's like different colors of stuff in there. These are my mini skeins from the mini skeins that I got from Melinda, as well as the 2 mini skeins that I got from Kaliesha for the Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted. So I have 7 mini skeins in here, and this is my plan for it. So what I'm going to do is, since I have 7, I'm going to make a Kwanzaa calendar. Now, I have mentioned Kwanzaa on here quite a few times because of my Bellatrix shawl that I made. Bellatrix is a shawl pattern by Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet. And I did mine in the colors of the Kwanzaa candles. I'll put in a picture. So, I've decided that since I have 7 minis, I will make an advent calendar to go with the 7 days of Kwanzaa. So I created little bags for each day. And I'm going to give my bag of minis to Lamar and tell him to put a mini and like the name of it on like a little card and put it in each bag, so that when Kwanzaa comes around, I can open one of these every day. And I think that's really cool. Now, I'm really proud of these bags. Like, I'm probably going to scrapbook these because I'm so stinking proud of these. So each bag has the symbol for the day and the name or the principle of the day. So the first day is Umoja, that's unity. The second, and that's crooked. Look at that. I drew this whole thing on here crooked. Oh well, it's handmade, gives it charm. The second day is Kujichakulia, and that's self-determination. Third day is Ujima, which is collective work and responsibility. Ujama is cooperative economics. Nia is purpose. Kuumba is creativity. And the last day is Imani, which is faith. So Kwanzaa runs from December 26th to January 1st. So I will have my little Kwanzaa yarn calendar to open on those days. And like in my mind, oops, that's a tag. In my mind, I'm like, okay, so like at the end of every day, we can light the candle. We can talk about the principle and how we can incorporate it into our lives. I can open my little calendar. I get a new little ball of yarn. This will be delightful. So that's the plan with those. I was gonna say something else. I don't remember. But along the lines of advent calendars, so since I didn't create an advent calendar out of yarn, I did, however, find advent calendars. So I went to Target. Now last year, there was an advent calendar there of like socks. And I want to say it was like Christmas socks. And I was like, oh, I would like to get that, but I'll get it later. And then when I went back to get it, they were all gone. So I was like, dagnabbit. So this year, I was in Target looking at the pajamas because I still need to get my Christmas pajamas. But I was in there and I looked, and lo and behold, they have the sock advent calendars. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and buy it because I'm not going to get got this year. So I got this one, which is Nickelodeon themed, which makes me so happy because I watched all of these shows, like every single show. Now there is one character on the front of here that I'm like mildly confused at who he is. I'm pretty sure he's a secondary character on like one of the cartoons, but who is this guy? Can somebody help me out? Because I cannot remember who this little like scared mouse guy is. But like everybody else on this cover, I know and watched all the cartoons. And it just makes me so happy on the inside. So this is what it looks like on the inside. You must be smarter than the box. You have all of your days 1 through 12, and you get a new pair of socks every day. And we all know that I love socks, so this is perfect. There's a mixture of crew socks, meaning like the long socks, the low cut socks. Oh, that's it. It's just low cut socks and crew socks. So yeah, that's my first advent calendar. And oh, I don't know if I've ever mentioned my love for Nickelodeon to you guys, but yep, I'm wearing Nickelodeon pajama pants right now because I'm cool like that. Anywho, I did get a second advent calendar because I wanted something to open every day. So I have the 12 socks, and then I have this one, which is 12 Days of Christmas advent calendar. It's charms with Swarovski crystals. And this is what this looks like. I got it from Joann's. I posted about it on Instagram. If you go into the Joann store right now, these are like $30, which I was just like, when I saw it, I was like, okay, no, I'm not going to get that. And then I went online, and they were marked down to, I think, $14.99 online, and then they had like a another sale coupon that you could put on top of that. So I ended up getting this for $11, which is more reasonable. And we all kind of know that I have a little weakness for charms like this, which you will see more of shortly. But this, it says that there's 3 festive charms, and this is like the actual size, which is great. So I looked at this and I was like, oh, okay, so they're marketing it as like a bracelet type thing, but all we knitters and crocheters know these are not like for bracelets. These are progress keepers, right? Get your life together, guys. These are progress keepers. So I have a progress keeper advent calendar. So my plan is to alternate between the two. So one day I'll get a sock, the next day I'll get a progress keeper. So those are the advent calendars that I have, that I bought / are going to be making. And yes, so since I mentioned my slight obsession with progress keepers, I was also in Joann's another day. See, when I leave work and I drive home, Joann's is between those places. And I stop. What can I say? So I was in Joann's and I was looking particularly for this one set of charms because I was making some stitch markers for Get Your Yarn Wish Granted. And I was like, I know I saw charms that were like candies or sweets or something like that, some sort of food thing. So I was looking for them and I came across these. These are charm packs by Lord DIY, and Lord DIY is a YouTuber who like does a lot of DIY stuff, you know, YouTuber stuff. But she evidently came out with like all of these different charm packs. They were being sold in Joann's for like, I think $7.99 was the regular price. And her charm packs ranged from, I think the smallest one was like four charms up to, I have a 12 charm one, which is like birthstones. But I saw these and I was like, oh, that's super cute. And then I noticed that they were 70% off. So of course I had to get it. It was like $2 and change. Yes, please. So I got this one, which is just food snacks. This hamburger just does not want to stay forward. So you got hamburger, popcorn, French fries, this is potato, and a watermelon on a stick. Do people do that? Do people put watermelon on a stick and eat it? Or is that a popsicle? And I just don't know. Somebody help me out. This is the birthstone pack that I got. So they're just little gems. And I love that they already have lobster clasps on them. So a lot of times when I see these like cute little charms and things, they're just the charm. So these all have lobster clasps on them as well, which I thought was really cool. Then, because why not, I got these cacti. Oh, these are rose gold. That's cute. So there's like yellow gold and rose gold. I don't know why I didn't notice that. And then I got these two, which I already opened because I was using them and I was super excited. This one is Tropical Vibes and this one is But First Coffee. So let me show you the Tropical Vibes. Now, one thing I noticed about these, and the reason that they're all off of the paper, is because the lobster clasps were kind of on backwards to how I would need to use them as like progress keepers. So, you know, when you put a progress keeper on your work, it lays against the work. So it'll either be forward or backwards. So a lot of these were backwards. So the Tropical Vibes ones are these. Here we go. So we have a rainbow. This one is a palm tree, a flamingo, pair of sunglasses, and a pineapple. So these are very Florida. So I thought that was really cool to do, or to have. So I got those. And then the But First Coffee. These are really cute, but I think they might be a little bit too heavy to put on most of my my projects, so I might have to like use them on like bigger, chunkier knits. Like when I start the Ryan sweater, they'd probably be able to hang on those. But we've got, get around, a donut, like a, what's this, Frappuccino, hot coffee, and a coffee in a mug. Help, help, I need an adult. There you go. With some, what do you call that? Latte art on top of it. So there you go. That's really cute. So yeah, I saw those and I was like, $2 and change for each one of those was really, really good. So if you have a Joann's in your area, I would say go check them out. Look and see what the Lore DIY, if they have any Lore DIY stuff left in your Joann's. I think they might be clearancing it out because 70% is kind of a big percentage off. That's like, once these are gone, they're gone. So yeah, go check those out. And is that everything I have for the charms? Tootie, be quiet. That's everything I have for the charms, but I am going to make some more out of these. I found these little snowmen at the Goodwill, these snowman earrings, so I'm going to take them off of these earring backs or earring wires and put them on, I'm going to put one on a lobster clasp and then another one on a bigger hook so that I can use it in my crochet. But also, side note, these ear wires are so gross. Ew. But yeah, so those are going to be some progress keepers that I use for Christmas. And then I also got this little enamel pin. A little Frosty the Snowman. He is so old that he has yellowed. And I think that is so adorable. I just love like old things like that. And I imagine that they have like such a cool story, even if they don't. Like, but I'll never know what their actual story is. So in my mind, they have a really cool story and they belong to some eccentric old lady who told the best stories of when she was young, and I don't know. Who knows? So that, I found those at the Goodwill. So that will take us into a little bit of thrifting that I did. So the other day I was in the Goodwill. I had gone to Claremont to pick my husband up from work, and then he had to go to his parents' house to get like some giant bottles of water. Whatever, not the point. But I was like, how long do you think it's going to take you at your parents' house? He was like, I don't know, like 30, 40 minutes. I was like, cool, can you drop me off at the Goodwill and then come back and get me? And he was like, all right. So whilst I was in the Goodwill, I found the most nostalgic find I think I've ever found in the Goodwill. So I'm gonna put up a picture of baby Kaliesha, and if you look in the picture, like I'm in like one of those little baby walkers, and my parents have their Christmas tree up, and it's a picture of me reaching for an ornament. The ornament that I'm reaching for is like legitimately my favorite ornament on my mom's Christmas tree. Like, it's my favorite. I keep telling her I'm going to steal it, but then part of me is like, no, Kaliesha, you have to leave it on your mommy's Christmas tree because it belongs on there with all of the like ornaments from your childhood. Like, you have to leave it there. So I'm putting that picture up here. So when I was walking through the Goodwill, you know, they have all their Christmas stuff out, and I found this bag of like old, like vintagey ornaments. And amongst all these vintage ornaments, and they're all like handmade, like clearly like hand sewn ornaments, like the best thing ever, were these. It's like exactly the same as my mom's. I don't know how these things are made, but when I saw it, I was like, obviously I have to buy this pack just for this. So there was this one. This one doesn't have a hanger on it, so I have to add a hanger to it. There was another one this same size with a hanger. And then there's the little tiny one that has a hanger as well. And it just makes me so happy, like, to see this. And I kind of love that it's hung with like this like old grody yarn. Like, this is the acrylic yarn that people, I guess, are referring to when they're just like, ugh, acrylic is so trash. It's this yarn, because this feels like a rug that got burnt by a lighter or something. It's crispity. But so I now have my own, and I FaceTimed my mom yesterday, and I was like, Mom, I just want to show this to you. And I held it up, and she goes, it's just like mine. So that, it just made me so happy to find these. So also in that that ornament bag, and I got the whole bag for like $2. I have these little hand sewn hearts, and I love the fabric. I love this like old vintage fabric, and I have a collection of like vintage fabric bits. So I might make some more of these. I don't know. And then there was this one, a little candy cane, and this one, which, oh, did you used to be a bow? Yep. I'm gonna have to tie that. But we have that one, which is a star. So I am all ready to have like cute little vintage ornaments on my Christmas tree. We haven't put our Christmas tree up in the house yet, so hopefully that'll be going up over the weekend. And I'm gonna put these on it. But there were also some other ornaments in that in that pack that I didn't like, so I'm just gonna donate those back to the Goodwill. It's a circle of life, y'all. Yeah, so that brings me to my last thing in stash acquisitions that I wanted to show you guys, and that's this. Y'all, I finally got it. I finally got the knitting magazine with the Black People Do Knit article by Jeanette Sloan. And I haven't even flipped through this yet. Like, I haven't read the article yet. She had the article, or has the article, up on her like website, so I could have already read it, but I was just like, no, I want to buy the magazine that it's in and read it there. So I'm gonna be reading that. I'm super excited that I finally got this. Y'all, let me tell you how I was legitimately haunting my local Barnes & Noble. Like, in the mall that I work, there's JCPenney, where my studio is, my portrait studio that I work in. And then you go right outside the store and up the escalator, and there's Barnes & Noble. So every day on my lunch break, I would like walk past, and all of their magazines are right by their window. So I'm like walking slowly past like this, like looking for the magazine. And they didn't have it. And I was like, do they just not get this magazine? But they had this is November? Yeah. They had the October issue. So I'm like, okay, obviously you guys get this magazine. So day after day, I'm walking by. It was probably a month and a half, I think, or at least a month, that I had been going into this store every single time I was at work looking for this magazine. And when it finally came in, I was super excited. I was like, yes! Like, when I saw it on the shelf, and there was a guy like reading a magazine like sitting near me, and he was like, I don't care. I'm super excited. I got my magazine. Yay! Support Black people. So I am going to be reading that, flipping through this. I like this down here. Snuggle Cozy Designs for Cocooning. This is exactly what I need in my life. Like, this is like introvert knitter necessities right here. Yes. So I got that, and I feel like everything I'm showing you guys is like nicely transitioning into the next thing, because that will take us right into black fibers, black threads. Originally today I wasn't going to do like a black fibers, black threads segment for real. I was kind of going to put together a like support people of color dyers, designers Christmas wish list, but that will go either next week or the week after that, because as I was scrolling on Instagram, I saw that Nasat Nation has been featured in Vogue Knitting, in the Vogue Knitting magazine. Now, if you were a longtime viewer, you may remember when I highlighted Nasat in my Black Fibers, Black Thread section over the summer, I think it was. But he does, like, he's a crocheter, he's prolific, he is an amazing designer. His designs are so intricate, and I'll put up some pictures of his work so that you can kind of get an idea of like what he does. And he will be linked down below, so I definitely encourage you to go check out his Instagram, because like he's just amazing, and looking at his work is so inspirational. But he posted today that he was featured in the holiday issue of Vogue Knitting. So I was like, now I got to go haunt the bookstore again for another magazine. But this one shouldn't take so long, because I'm pretty sure Vogue Knitting is US based. So I'm so excited for him, because this is a huge, like, it's a huge thing to be in Vogue anything, right? So he is definitely representing for Black crocheters, and I think that's awesome. I can't wait to read the article. I can't wait to see what they have showcased for him. And yeah, definitely go check him out. I really hope that it does not take me as long as it took me to get that knitting magazine. I hope it doesn't take me that long to get the Vogue Knitting, because it'd been 2019 if I got it. If I have to wait this long, it's ridiculous. But yes, I'm always so excited when I see excuse me, when I see Black people in the fiber arts being like showcased, because you know it's very rarely that we are being showcased, and not necessarily just being there. Like this lady, she's probably a model. Not sure, she could be a designer, but I don't know. More than likely she's a model. And it's nice to see, you know, Black people on the covers of these knitting magazines, because I mean, Black people wear knitwear, yeah, but it's even nicer and more heavy hitting for like the designers of the knitwear to be featured in these magazines, because yes, we do wear it, you know, yes, we do knit, but we also design. We are also creating these things. And for somebody like Nasat, being a Black male crocheter, to be featured in Vogue Knitting, amazing. Stinking amazing. Black fibers, black threads, y'all. I'm just very excited for it today. But that's everything fibery that I wanted to share with you guys today. The next bit is just my life and whatnot. This past weekend, one of my friends was in town to visit she was visiting her family for Thanksgiving. So after church Saturday night, we all got together and went to Disney Springs, formerly known as Downtown Disney. So while we were there, we went through the Disney Christmas tree display. We stood around in the fake snow, which is just foam, But if you don't think about the fact that it's foam and you're just looking up at it through the lights, it does feel a little bit magical. And you just have to stop like being aware of the fact that you're like hot and sweaty and a little bit muggy, and just look at the snow falling above you, and you do get a little bit of that like Christmas magic feeling. But yeah, we walked around, just hung out. One of the main things that I wanted to get from Disney Springs was this set of pressed pennies. So I'm a collector of pressed pennies, which I've mentioned before, and I'm missing one. I wanted to get the Nightmare Before Christmas pressed penny set, and in one of the stores in downtown or Disney Springs, they have a machine that you can get a set of 8 of the Nightmare Before Christmas designs. And I don't even know if you'll be able to see these. Not really. So I'll put up a picture. So now officially I need to get a new book for my pressed pennies, because I have so many. But that was exciting. That was a lot of fun, just hanging out with friends. Then, as I mentioned, today's Friday, the last day of November, and tomorrow starts December as the calendar goes, which is also the first day of Vlogmas. And I am shooting to do Vlogmas again this year. I did it last year. It was a whole lot of fun. I've actually gone back and rewatched some of my Vlogmas episodes, and it's just really cool to be able to look back on the different things, the different activities that I did in that time. So this year I'm going to be doing Vlogmas again. I am going to be making like weekly planning spreads in my notebook, so that I can like keep track of you know, the different events that I want to go to, the different things that I want to do, the different craft stuff. Because I also, in addition to Vlogmas, and this may be Kaliesha biting off more than she can chew, I'm trying to do December daily. It might be December weekly, but I do want to do a whole lot of scrapbooking of like the different memories, like memory keeping for this month. And I feel like a lot of times, like regularly, we can get caught up in the hustle and bustle of the holidays and trying to make sure that we have all of our gift makes, you know, done, and like presents purchased and wrapped, and we're like running here and there and doing this. And then for me, like just completely on all the time, running in the studio, that I have a tendency to not slow down and enjoy the time in between those crazy times. So my goal for December daily / weekly this year is just to use it as a springboard to be more present. And I know that working all week in the high energy environment that I'm in, it makes me just want to like ball up myself when I have days off and like stay in and not do anything. But I want to find a balance between staying in, chilling out, and making memories with friends and family. That's something that's really important to me this year, is finding the balance within the holiday crazy. And so I have been like making little notes and taking a look at things that are happening around my town. Like we have tomorrow, they're doing the Christmas tree lighting in our downtown area, and I really want to go. So I put it out, I sent it out to my friends like, hey, this is what's going on, I would love to go. So if they come, hooray. If they don't, I'll be there by myself. So I'm really excited to purposefully and presently make memories and have experiences this holiday season. So typically Vlogmas goes from December 1st until Christmas. Because I also celebrate Kwanzaa, I'm going to be going from December 1st to January 1st. And I'm going to try to like follow the same kind of thing that I did last year, where each video was about 10 minutes because I shot and edited it on my cell phone. So that's going to be the plan again this year. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. I'm also excited to see everybody else's Vlogmases, because it's like this is the time of the year where everybody is like, let's film everything. And I just love that. Like, I really love being able to be a part of people's like holiday experiences, even if it's just by watching their videos and like commenting on it or seeing what's going on in different places. Like, I think my favorite thing when I'm watching different Vlogmases is people who get snow and they vlog and you can see like the snow falling outside their window. That is my ultimate favorite, because Florida, right? Yeah. So I think one of the days of Vlogmas, I'm gonna make my way back down to downtown Disney and Disney Springs and film our Florida snow. Because that's all the snow that we're gonna be getting here. So yeah, that's everything I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for coming to spend some time with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I am gonna go give my voice a rest, because I feel like throughout this video my voice has gotten hoarser and hoarser. But it's fine. I feel a lot better than I did a couple days ago, so thumbs up for that. Also, if you aren't subscribed to this podcast, please do consider subscribing. We are so close to 1,000. I don't even know like what 1,000 people looks like altogether. Like, and like when I think about it, I'm like, okay, Kaliesha, all 1,000 people don't watch your videos, but 1,000 people made the conscious decision to click subscribe on this channel. Well, not 1,000, but almost 1,000 people have made the conscious decision to click subscribe on this channel. And I just feel like that is just amazing. Like, thank you guys so much for being a part of my universe. I know I say that every episode, but I really do appreciate, you know, building these relationships and like these friendships and things like that, where, you know, we're chatting back and forth on here or on Instagram, or commenting on each other's posts and stuff like that. And it's so amazing to see how these different, like how technology has allowed our world to be smaller and our individual worlds to overlap with each other. And like, it's crazy amazing. So thank you so much. If you are already subscribed, thank you for getting me this far to 900 and some odd subscribers. Like, pff, I have no words. And if you're not subscribed and you like what you've seen, click that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, share the video with somebody, and look forward to Vlogmas, because it's coming. It's a coming. Yeah. Have a wonderful day, have a wonderful weekend, and thanks for being part of my universe. Bye!